Hi everybody, Luke Gallant here from the Snowblower and Other Random Stuff channel. I want to make a quick video to talk about my 2022 Husky TE250i. I've just finished a fair bit of maintenance, including top end rebuild and a bunch of other little knickknacks. So I'm at 157 hours on this bike, doing mostly single track and some slow hard enduro stuff, and occasionally I've opened it up on hill climbs and some cross-country racing. So 157 hours. Everything looked really good. I went to the B piston size. Everything looked really good, and on this top end I've put in the two-stroke performance from Australia. It's called TSP top end kit, which I bought from brcracing.ca for those of you in Canada, and that came with all the things you'd expect in a top end kit, but surprisingly it came with all the O-rings for the power valve and all the crush washers, O-ring for the pipe. It was actually more complete than I knew. In the description on the website it says it comes with everything, but until you see the inventory list, which there is none, but until you open the box, you don't know that it actually does. I've put in the Tokyo Off-Road brass bushing for the crankcase pressure sensor. I've put in the revised tray to go with it. I replaced the rubber elbow off the oil tank. I've left the oil pump as is. I did the oil pump prime test and it's 6 milliliters like it was in the past. That elbow is very annoying to replace. One of my major regrets on this is not taking the engine out to check the starter motor. Lots of regrets there, but I'll be doing it next year, I guess. I'm just gonna accept that and hope for the best. Put in a new spark plug and adjusted the Z distance on the power valve. One of the things I did is I adjusted the squish, and I had the Nailo tool. I'll post the link in the description that Neil loaned me, my friend. But I actually found that the squish was best set using a piece of solder. So the squish on this bike here is 1.25 millimeters, which is the TSP head spec. And the only thing is that, you know, when I first put the head kit on, I left the stall gasket in there and didn't check the squish. And there was a slight bit of pinging or knocking that I think might have come from the fact that the squish was too tight. It would have been about 1.05 millimeters, I estimate. I was running 93 anyway, but now it's going to be interesting to see what the larger squish value does. The compression on teardown was 215 psi. Now with these rings that are not yet seated, I'm measuring about 195, 200 psi. This is the first start of the bike. Before doing so, I ran through the oil priming. I've hooked up the oil line. Internals are coated with oil. I've turned the sprocket a bunch to see the piston going up. It's free. The bike has no coolant right now. I'm going to be putting in about a 33% vinegar mix, 66% water. I'm going to let that come up to temp. Then I'm going to drain all that, dump it, and that's kind of the cleaning of the cooling system. Once it's back down to temp, I'm going to put in regular coolant that I've already got. Then I'm gonna do another heat cycle on that, and then I'm gonna wait till spring. All right, here we go. So here goes the water vinegar mix. Don't forget to put coolant in your bike. All right, the mix is in, the cap's on. I've done a mental walkthrough of all the things that would be bad forgetting about. For example, if you forgot to connect the oil line, if you forgot to get the coolant line, or if you forgot to fill the coolant. I think it's pretty well ready. Things are kind of temporarily assembled here, but the critical things are ready to go. The air filter is in. The fuel lines are probably empty, so it might take a little bit to start. Once it starts, I'll let it come up to temperature, and then I'll shut her down. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. So I've opened the door now. I'm actually going to start the bike again because the air is a lot cooler now, so I can actually readjust a little bit. Whether it's true or not, who knows? Here we go. All right. I think that was quite successful. The one thing I kept looking at here is I opted to start the bike without the power valve linkage covers installed. And the left side's got no oil that goes into it, except for seepage past that O-ring. But I guess on the right side, oil shoots up from the transmission oil, I think that's there anyway, and quite a lot of oil actually shoots out there. So that's what causes that oil leak that comes out of that Z height adjustment screw. So anyway, enough oil was lost, but it's not a big deal. So now that I reached quite a nice temperature with the vinegar water solution, I'm gonna extract it and then junk it and then wait till it all cools down. I'm gonna put some real coolant in there and I'm gonna repeat this. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna finish putting coolant in this bike. All right, coolant's full. So I'm gonna proceed to do a startup. I'm gonna let the bike come to temperature, and I'm gonna shut her down, get this pipe off, finish a few knick-knack, put on some covers, and good to go. Here we go. So I always think it's a good idea to test these caps. So I've got 26 PSI applied to the cap, which is 1.8 bar, and we are holding. The only thing is the overflow is not really a thing on this cap tester, but I can see I'm at 25 pounds and holding. Put the adapter onto the radiator and go up to usually 15 PSI on the Yamaha, but because of the cap here, 1.8 bar, I can maybe even go to 20 PSI just to make sure it holds. We don't have to go to the extreme test here. So in order to use this tester on the KTM, you have to put a little rubber spacer inside the rad cap area and then put the cap adapter on there. And then you'll pressure up. I'm gonna go till it hits 20 PSI. I'm just gonna hold it there. We could go to 28 PSI because the cap is rated there, but I'll leave it at 20 because I feel like that today. Most people don't do this, but my subscribers will know that I'm not most people, so that's, yeah. So I've got the cap on there, but it's quite a tight fit on this KTM rad, but I've got it on there enough that I think it won't blow off. I'm at 15 PSI now. I'm gonna go up to 20. So right now, the radiators, the pump, everything's pressured up. So it's good to kind of look around at the hoses and make sure that you've got no leaks, no water springing. And there you go. So I've got it set to exactly 20 PSI. Gonna time for a minute and see if we lose any pressure. I don't see any water leaking out of anywhere. Okay, I don't see any loss here. I'm gonna end the test. All right, we're at the end. We're gonna do one last heat cycle on it. Then I'm gonna take this gas tank off, the pipe off, put a different pipe, do a couple more things, but this will be the end of this video. End of the rebuild. I'm gonna take the compression after just to see where it's at. Here we go. All right, last start here. Maybe one more. All right, thanks for watching.